Hello, everybody. What is up? I'm like looking over here with the cameras over there, and I'm just kind of. Anyways, hi. What? Okay. Welcome to Breaking Down the Breakdown with Steven Diego. And today we actually have a special guest who lives literally just a few feet away from me. Unfortunately, can't find her on Grindr when I turn it on because she's not on that app. Okay. All right. Enough for that. Christine!
Hi!
Snaps for this girl.
I can't snap.
It's okay. Anyway, what's up? Thank you for having me. I mean...
You're welcome. Do you like my show so far?
Sorry guys, it is one of those days. I am coming off of a really bad Charlie horse on my abs. Very bad. Honestly, I wish I could tackle physical, medical stuff.
I still have never heard of that.
Right?
Charlie horse in your abs.
Same.
It's fucking
It's
weird.
weird. I think I should see a doctor. Anyway.
Maybe.
We're just gonna put this on the fast track. So today, I actually asked Christine to come on the show because she has a very special predicament she's in. I mean, everyone's predicament is special, right? But for me, this is actually the first time that I've interacted with somebody who has this. So Christine, before anything else, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Christine. I'm currently unemployed, so if you have a job... I'm kidding.
Yes. Hey, I mean...
But yeah, my name is Christine. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about myself. Other than
you're Christine and unemployed.
Yeah, I'm Christine and I'm unemployed. If you know somebody who's looking for somebody to hire... Tell Diego.
Right.
Steven.
I mean, hey, I guess I'm also a job agency now.
Yeah.
Alright, but what are you... I don't want to say dealing with. Dealing with sounds like it's so bad, but it's really not. But
yeah.
What are you going through right now?
Well, other than the pandemic, I am dealing with BPD, which is borderline personality disorder. I've also actually just recently heard about that myself just a few months ago when I was finally last year when I was finally diagnosed properly, because I have been dealing with this for a long time now, for years. I don't even know how long, but it's been years, and I just didn't know what it was. I thought it was just anxiety. I thought it was only depression, but then I saw a lot of social workers and they all said a lot of different things about it. So I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on with me. So I was just confused for the longest time.
My goodness.
Yeah. It was, yeah. It's hard dealing with something that you don't know about.
Right.
So you're kind of you're lost and confused. You're constantly in that state. And it's worse when you have anxiety, because then that just makes your anxiety worse, because you're like, what is wrong with me?
And then you start thinking, well, these are just anxieties, and it's like you can't even find a proper solution to it.
Yeah.
That's so. But okay, so I do want to I want to get to the bottom of this. So when did you first break, and what was that experience like? And by that I mean, I know you've been dealing with it for years, but when was the first time that you were like, okay, something is up, something is different, I need to figure this out?
I guess I've known since I was in grade 9, kind of.
Okay.
Because, I never had the greatest relationship with my mom. So, basically, every time I would do something or just go out, I feel like I can't breathe. My heart just starts pounding, and I'm experiencing so much anxiety, but I didn't know it was anxiety. So, it was kind of I thought it was normal. I thought everybody would experience that until grade 10. I don't exactly know what happened. All I remember was that... Oh, well,
sorry, her phone is just...
Don't be rude.
My goodness.
Sorry. But yeah, all I remember happening is that in grade 10, it was when I started seeing social workers. Okay. And my teachers basically made me see a social worker, because I think I had a really bad panic attack, because back then high school, when I'd have panic attacks, I'd black out. I would black out, and I would just kind of go down memory lane of the things that's happened to me back home in Philippines, and basically all the abuse that I went through. So I would go through that memory lane, and I kind of like get stuck in that. Like I feel like I'm reliving it.
So during your blackout, this is what's playing in your head.
Yeah.
And what's happening outside? You just like kind of like passed out on the floor?
No, like I'm panicking, like I'm hyperventilating. Apparently I say stuff, but like people don't understand because
So it's you're reliving that moment. That's why you're speaking it like you're in that moment.
yeah, and I'm speaking it in my language. So imagine just the people around me. They're like,
you're speaking
what the
in
hell is
tongues.
happening? I'm speaking in tongues. Is she possessed? Like that's
Oh
probably
my.
what they thought. So yeah, and then I guess it just started breaking down. So I was sent to my guidance counselor, and then they're like, what's going on? And there was a lot going on in my household that time. My mom and my brother, my sister's dad, it was a very rocky relationship. They were just fighting constantly every day, like just throwing shit around. They're just throwing, like she broke his laptop. She threw it down the stairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think.
Yeah. So it's just like there's a lot going on. So,
Okay.
and I felt pressured to take care of my brother and my sister because my mom worked 2 jobs. Their dad was useless.
Okay.
So, yeah, so like on top of like schoolwork, I also had to take care of my brother and my sister, and I was also working.
So all of this all together just kind of like, I guess, propelled you into this whole like state of like panic and anxiety, and it's almost as if you're so young and you're taking on so much responsibilities, right?
Yeah.
So having felt that, and when you got sent to the guidance counselor, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about how they handled it? How did you feel? Because when we were young, like especially like grade 9, grade 10,
Mm-hmm.
right? We were in that like kind of like phase where it's like fuck the world, like,
Yeah.
And this is very interesting to me because I feel like a lot of kids at that age that were diagnosed with something, that were sent to the principal's office, were forced to see a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like half of them, I'm just throwing numbers out there, but with the amount of people that I know, for some of them, if it wasn't depression, they said no. If it wasn't depression, they refused to accept that that's what it was.
Yeah.
Because I feel like at that point, a lot of kids sometimes, a lot of adults think that kids are faking these things to get attention, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, for me, it's like hearing this, how did you feel about that then? Like, were you scared that people were gonna think you're just getting like you're trying to get attention, or were you like, I don't care about that because I want to get the help that they're telling me I need?
To be quite honest, I felt like a freak. Because I would have to have like so in like high school, you have to like you have to go to guidance counselor and be like, hey, I have this appointment, and they have to sign it, right?
Yes.
And then you go, and then if it's in the middle of your class, you have to give it to your teacher. But like I have to go to guidance counselor. So every time I had to do that, I felt like a freak because like because back then too, my anger was bad. It was really bad, and I couldn't hide it. I couldn't control my anger, so everybody saw my anger. Every time I would have an outburst, like I almost stabbed a kid's hand because but that was in grade 11.
Not judging. Just,
Yeah.
I can't believe you went through something like that.
Yeah, so like it was just like it was so bad. So like every time I would give my teacher the slip, I felt like a freak because I'm like, God, like why am I not normal? Like I thought for the longest time I was normal. I thought for the longest time that what I was feeling everybody felt.
Yeah.
Because with BPD too, it's the emotions that you feel, it's cranked up.
Okay.
It's not like you feel angry and then later on you're like, okay, whatever. You're like, okay, I'm angry about this, but it doesn't mean that this and that.
Right.
With BPD, it's more of like, I'm angry about this and this is all I can focus on because this is such a big deal, even though it's not.
Okay.
So like it basically it comes with all the emotions. It's like that.
Oh man. So
Yeah.
going through the process then of, having been through different social workers, and you said it was only last year that somebody finally diagnosed you correctly.
Yeah.
How did you come across this person? And why did it take this long?
Oh boy, it's such a long journey. Like all of my social workers, they're like, oh, like this one social worker, her name is Ara, and she was actually my favorite. Because I've had multiple social workers. For some reason, like every time I see one, they would last for like 2 sessions, and then I'd get a new one. And with BPD entails abandonment issues.
Yeah.
So imagine how I felt.
Yeah.
It's like every second session, I have a new social worker.
So it felt like, oh, like they just don't want to deal with me.
Yeah, so it felt like, okay, what? Like, am I that bad that you don't want to deal with me?
But wait, okay, so why was it like that? Why was it every 2 sessions somebody would come in? Like
I
something
have
different?
no idea. They never told me.
Was it just like, that's just how the system worked? It was like rotations and they just file, like, kind of pass around your file and it's like, oh, okay, so this is you?
I have no idea. No clue, but that was how it was for me, and I was like, oh, okay.
If somebody would like to clarify this, please email me at stephendiego@hotmail.com. We want to get to the bottom of this because this is ridiculous. Can you just imagine if there are people out there right now, which there probably is, that has the same diagnosis as you and is getting the same treatment from the system? How worse would they be feeling? And did it ever make you feel like you just don't want to see a social worker anymore?
For a little bit, yes, but then at the same time, I'm like, I don't care.
Okay.
I need to see somebody because I'm going crazy.
That's good. Okay.
But yeah, so they all told me, like, Ara told me that I have generalized anxiety disorder because based on my life story of what she's heard is that I have lived on survival mode pretty much my entire life.
Okay.
So it makes sense that I would have that. And then somebody else told me I have PTSD. Then another one told me I have depression. And then like all of that just I carried with me throughout my adulthood. And until last year. Yeah, last year was when I was finally diagnosed. But it was also last year was when no, sorry. Yeah. No, it happened in like 2018.
Okay.
So I'm getting all my timelines messed up.
That's okay.
But it all first started in 2018 when I still worked at the call center I used to work at, and I was getting yelled at every single day because it's my job.
Right.
And that's a trigger for me. So every single day I'm constantly triggered. And then it just got to the point where I couldn't do it anymore. So every time I would go to work I'd have an anxiety attack, and like it wasn't pretty. And then I moved to a new job, which is a factory job.
Okay.
But my mental health wasn't getting any better. If anything, it was declining, and also because I was in a not so healthy relationship.
Okay.
So my mental health was just not going anywhere. Like it was just declining, and it got to the point where I couldn't get out of bed anymore. I would get up and get ready to go to work, and as soon as I'm in front of the door, I can't open it.
Right.
Yeah, I can't open it at all. And thank God my friend who suffers really bad from like anxiety, she sees this psychiatrist that goes to this clinic in Mississauga every Wednesday. Okay. And she was like, hey, come with me, see him too, so that...
That's when you finally got that.
Yeah, so I told him, I'm like, because it was like a quick half an hour session.
Right.
And he was like, all right, well, it sounds like this isn't that. I'm like, I would like to be properly diagnosed. Because I have, like, so many terms have been thrown my way my entire life. I'm sick and tired of it. I am confused as to what I actually have. I would like to know what I have so I can treat it properly and I can go about my life and know what I'm dealing with and deal with it properly.
Right.
And that's when he's like, okay, I'll take you in as my actual patient. And that's what he did. He said, my assistant will call you in like 2 weeks and we'll set up an appointment because I need at least an hour and a half with you to properly assess you.
So I'm just going to ask something here.
Yeah.
You don't have to answer it if you don't want to, right? But first of all, we're not gonna disclose names, but how do you feel now about having seen this person? Has it helped you immensely with your journey?
My psychiatrist.
Yeah.
It has. It has. He before I absolutely refused to take any kind of medication because, like, I've heard so many bad things about it. My friend was on antipsychotics, antidepressant and stuff, and she just said it makes you numb. It ruins your life, and I'm like, I don't want to be on any of that. And I told him, I said, I don't want to be on antipsychotics. I don't want to be on anything that's like antidepressant or whatever, because my friend said that they felt numb, and I already feel that way.
Yeah.
So why do I want to
Be more numb.
be more numb? Like, I already feel that way, and it's scary. It's a really scary feeling because you're numb. You're like, you don't feel anything. So when your friend comes to you and they're all sad and you're just kind of like,
Good for you.
yeah, like, yeah, it's like, okay, like it's so bad because it's like you're numb. Like, you're supposed to be feeling emotions, but you're not.
But you're not.
Yeah, so I told him, it's like, I don't want that. And he was like, okay, well, I'll have a medication for you that doesn't, it's a mood stabilizer.
Okay.
It's like, because you have a mood, on top of BPD, I have a mood disorder.
Okay.
So it's like, it's a mood stabilizer. It will not have those side effects. But the side effects are weight gain, so I gained a lot of weight because of that. Hair loss, I've lost a lot of hair.
You have a lot of hair back.
It's
So
okay. I do. So I'm good on that. But also, like, with fluctuation of appetite. So my appetite, I will have days where I want to eat everything, and I'll have days where I don't even want to eat.
Right.
So those are the side effects. But honestly, I don't care. Like, I'm glad that I took the medication because it has helped me live my life better.
That's great.
It's helped me, like, get back to work. Yeah. And then, but at first it wasn't really helping, so I had to take a second medication.
Just to kind of like help that one.
Yeah, just to help that one. But I've recently gotten off the second medication, and I have found out that it's kind of affecting me a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's...
So you're gonna go back on it?
No, I refuse to.
Okay.
I want...
So you can handle it now, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I can handle it.
That's
now.
really good.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking proud of you. Congrats.
Thank you.
Jeez. So what medication are you on now that's kind of helping you with this?
Divalproex.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess, and you know, like, I asked what this medication was just because I want to make sure that for people that are out there trying to look for alternatives to, like, you know, people who are scared to try medication, at least we have living proof over here. Because I know medication does affect people differently, right? Like, my medications did not work for me.
Yeah.
But, you know, living with Christine, you would not even realize that she's going through these things. Which is also kind of bad because I forget it some days, and some days I'm just, you know, like, I don't know, like, I just don't give a fuck about things, and I just yell here and there, and, like, I don't realize, hey, maybe she's going through it today, you know, so, but it's a good thing, because that means it's largely under control.
Yes.
And honestly, I mean, girl, the weight gain, dude, I've seen you skinny, and I've seen you now. You still have the same face, which is great. If anything, you look younger now, remember?
I do, I really do.
That's the weirdest fucking part about that. It was like, wait a minute. Like, if this is the kind of weight gain, I don't mind it either.
I look like a fucking baby when I'm...
Dude, you
when I
look
gain
like you're
weight.
19, 20. Like, yo, it's crazy.
And when I was 19 and really
you
skinny...
look like you're 26. It was, what the heck? But, you know.
It's a reverse.
But it's good. Right?
Yeah.
That's really good then. Well, I mean, this is a weird question I'm about to ask, but I do ask everybody this. Because especially, like, after going through what you went through, I feel like you're going to say, fuck no.
Yeah.
But, I mean, after everything that's happened, would you go through the same things again that kind of led you to the path of, you know, seeking more psychiatrists or, like, seeking help?
Mm-hmm.
Or if you could turn back time, would you just kind of like maybe have done things differently that wouldn't lead you on this path that you're on now?
Honestly, I don't really think about it much because there's nothing you can do about it. It's already happened. But if I were given the choice, I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah, eh?
Yeah, because it's definitely helped me shape me. Right now. I am the person I am right now because of the things I went through, and it's also helped me realize the things that I can handle, what I can handle and what I can't handle, and my breaking point as to when I need to ask for help, because I am such a stubborn person. I hate asking for help. I absolutely hate asking for help.
I can attest to that.
I hate asking for help. I don't like it because it makes me feel weak.
I roll my eyes at that, living with this one.
Because it makes me feel weak. I feel like I'm letting myself be vulnerable in front of people, and I hate it. I fucking hate it so much. Like, you have no idea. I hate it so much.
I have an idea. Trust me on that. I've seen you refuse help, and I'm just kind of like, bruh, it's just this. But well, I guess this is part of that BPD that really amplifies that feeling of uselessness or like.
Yeah, like, cause I have a weird thing of like I have to stand up for myself. I have to be independent constantly. I need to be able to do things for myself, because throughout my entire life, my own family, they've betrayed my trust. They have let me down. They have disappointed me, and they have abused my trust, and they have abused me. So it's kind of like, if my own family can do that,
anybody
can. Yeah. So it's like, I can't rely on anybody but myself.
I am so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
And I hope that one day you'll be able to let your guard down with the right people.
Yeah.
Right? Just so you can see that not everybody is like that.
Yeah.
But as your friend, we will wait. We're not gonna force that, right? But honestly, Christine, I feel like you should just write a movie about your life. I don't think this podcast is enough. I don't think this episode is long enough. I wish I could have you go on for 3 hours to talk about all this, but unfortunately, I am poor and I can't afford to pay the servers that much money for my podcast. But before we go, because we are kind of running out of time, just a little bit, we're in a really lofty position right now, so we can talk a bit more, but I just don't want to forget to ask this. But what can you say to other people that are going through the same experiences that you are, or you've dealt with, or that you're still going through?
You are not alone, because it feels lonely. It feels extremely lonely to think, and also you're not crazy. You're not crazy. All of your emotions, even though people are telling you that you're overreacting, that you shouldn't make things a big deal, because it's not. To them, it's not, but to you, it's a big deal.
Right.
And honestly, just tell them to fuck off. Tell them to fuck off, because they're not feeling what you're feeling. You're not, like, they don't know how you feel. They don't know what you're going through. And just deal with it the best way that you can. Definitely seek help. It really helps. Don't be stubborn like me. It'll save you years of pain.
Wow.
Trust
Right?
me. But yeah, like, seek help. Also, keep up with your therapy. Don't be like me.
I love how the advice is don't do what I've done.
Yeah. So like keep up with your therapy. Keep up with your DBT. Also, if you're on medication, or if you're thinking of being on medication, always do your research. Ask your psychiatrist. Even call your pharmacist and ask them what the side effects are. And just and once you're on medication, be very careful of what you put into your body, because that can also affect it very much.
Very, very good advice, I must say. Very raw, very real. I love it, right? But I guess, in some ways that is true. Like, tell them to fuck off.
Yeah. That's literally what I do now. When someone's like, why are you making such a big deal? I'm like, fuck off. Like, you don't know what I'm thinking. You
Right.
don't know how I feel. Why are you telling me that it's not a big deal? It's a big deal for me.
Right. Thank you. Right. This is why, honestly, this is in every show. I always say, be compassionate. When people think compassion, they think, oh, I have to feel sorry for this person. And it's like,
No.
that's not it at all. It's
No.
about understanding or having that mindset that, hey, we don't know what this person is dealing with today or throughout their lives.
Yeah.
Let's be mindful of, how we talk to them, how we interact with them.
Yeah. But, also just another piece of advice. Do not make your mental illness an excuse for everything. Don't make it your personality. And don't be like, oh, I can't do this because I have this. Because honestly, I have been there. I've been there, done that, and it won't get you anywhere.
Bro, that's me too.
It won't get you anywhere. Honestly, you just have to push through it. Even on your worst days, you just have to push through it. You just have to do even the smallest things that'll make you feel better. Because you can't just sit there and let it beat you down, because that's just not life. That's not how you live life. That's not how you should live life. So
yes.
yeah.
I have to do this. I have to clap. That is, honestly though, I mean, that is kind of the sad part about dealing with mental illness, right?
Yeah.
That the things your brain is telling you can't
Yeah.
do is something that you have to do, right?
Yeah. And other people, sadly, whether we like it or not, they're not gonna stop their life for you.
Right.
They're not gonna stop everything and drop everything just to help you and save you. That's not how people work.
They have their own shit
Yeah.
going on.
They have their own shit to deal with. So
Exactly.
you have to learn how to rely on yourself and how to deal with it yourself.
Amazing. I love it. I'm so glad you went on this show. Time is running out. Before we go, I just want to say huge thanks to Christine over here. I'm so glad. She is my neighbor. She literally just lives in the other room. So you know what? We'll probably be hearing more from her later on. This has been an episode on BPD, which is borderline personality disorder. If you or somebody you know is dealing with something like this, or you feel like you may be dealing with something like this, feel free to email me, stevendiego@hotmail.com. If you have any questions, I can put you in contact with Christine. If you have, questions regarding that and you're too scared to go and ask a medical professional because you might be misdiagnosed, look, we're just trying to create a community here where we can help each other out. Even if you don't have any mental illnesses or any, mood disorders, if you just need somebody to talk to, feel free to reach out. And if you want to be on the show, again, just email us. But yes, thank you so much. That's all we have time for today. Next episode, I will be talking about something else. I just forgot. I didn't ask her what her deal was. That sounds so wrong. What her deal was. But anyways, thank you for sharing us about your breakdown. And I'm glad we broke it down together. Is that the past tense of break? No, not broke.
Yeah.
No,
not broke. Broke.
True.
Just like me, broke.
Ooh, like us. Broke.
Broke.
Alright, thank you so much. This is Breaking Down the Breakdown with Steven Diego and
Bye.
Christine. Good night. Peace.